Welcome to another edition of the Gravestone Pros here at North Country Memorials. We are so glad that you've joined us today. I am going to be taking and showing you why I think a gaming mouse is a must for every single monument guy. Then I'm going to just talk a little bit about a mistake that I made a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to send you out with the guys to do a final date engraving. Come along! I was talking with Tim, the gentleman that bought the sandblast curtain for me, and I just wanted to check in, make sure that he'd received it and everything okay, because we hadn't emailed back and forth or anything. And he said he was missing a piece. And I said, oh, I didn't know that. And I went out and looked, and sure enough, this piece, just kind of like a little spot, holds the curtain. Not something I realized went with it. And so, unfortunately, it ended up not going, and so I'll have to figure out how to get that out to him. But I thought maybe we all got sandblast stencil tubes sitting around, so I thought maybe I can put some of these together. It'll kind of protect it, and that might be a good way to ship it out and get it to him. It's kind of long, but we'll see. Hopefully it's not too much to ship it. We'll try and get it sent out to him in a reasonable amount of time here. It's been a crazy day in the office. I got like 168 things going here. I've got stuff all over. I got checks. I've got money from people from last week's fair, and I took Monday off, and it is Tuesday. I'm back in the office. I took a day and I went up to Canada to be at my in-laws' cottage. My family's been up there for a few days, and so I surprised them and went and stayed a couple days with them, and it was really nice. But it definitely means I'm busy now that I'm back here at the office. Got a little sunburn, a little good time out on the water in the lake, swimming with the kids. It was a blast. Gord, if you're watching, I am sorry I didn't stop in. I thought about it. I came through in the middle of the night on the way up, and I was coming back in the afternoon, and I just wanted to beat the rain and get home. Gord is a monument guy that I drive when I go up to Canada within a couple minutes of, and so I stopped in one time to see him. Looking forward to stop back in, and when I do, if he's good with it, I will try and film it for you guys so you can see his setup a little bit. It's always fun to see another shop other than my own, so hopefully we'll be able to do that next time I'm up around his area. If you are enjoying my content, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe. That is the #1 way you can help us grow this channel and help support what we're doing here, and so I would really appreciate that. We are getting close to 800 subscribers, which is another milestone on the way to 1,000. Last week, I kind of mentioned in passing that I have a gaming mouse, and a few different people asked if they could hear more about this. So this mouse is a gaming mouse. It is a Logitech G502, and it is extremely handy. The sensor on here that is reading how you're moving and where you're moving is much more accurate than just a cheap mouse is. So as you're moving around, your movements are just more precise, which is very handy when you're working on designing and you're sitting there moving stuff around trying to click and get stuff in place. The other thing is it has a button here and here where I can change the speed at which I go. So I can move it this much and it will move this much, or I can slow it down so I can move this much and it will only move just a little bit on the actual screen. So if I want to get real precise, I can click it here and slow it way down, and then it's very, very slow, very precise. Then if I want to quickly go from one spot to another, and I'm clicking and I'm using two screens all the time, so sometimes I got stuff way over here or stuff way over here, and I want to go back and grab it, and so I can speed it up and be very quick and do it. One of the other things that a gaming mouse normally has is it has a button that will allow me to make this so it just scrolls faster. So if I'm scrolling through stuff, or if I want it to be normal and have different clicks. Don't know if you can hear the clickiness, but it will roll smooth or it'll click. So it just has some extra features. Now it also has a little light up spot when I'm wanting to coordinate in one of my keyboards has color as well, so that's kind of fun, but nothing that you really need. But But a mouse like this is going to cost you somewhere between probably $40 and $120, depending on what you get. Razer is a very good brand. Logitech is a very good brand. I really like the G502. I don't know if they still make this particular one, but a Logitech G5 something series is going to be a very good mouse, and it's going to do a lot. And I think this is an invaluable tool for anybody that's spending much time designing and working on computers. It is nice to have a precise tool. My dad and brother are working on a lettering job out there, so we're going to switch to them. I'm not going to edit this video down as much as I do some. I'm just going to kind of let it run, so it's going to be a little longer, but I want you guys just to kind of get the conversation and the flow of what they're working on a little bit. I will edit it some, but it's going to be a little bit longer, so if that's too much for you, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. If you're interested in this, I think you'll really enjoy kind of hearing their conversation and seeing them working back together. His dad is kind of instructing Corwin through the way to do this.
Because really, I need something flat in order to be able to do it.
Yeah, which I use the top of the stone a lot.
I need a little bit better pencil because that one's just...
Well, we need to stop and get a sharpener too. I need to keep one in here.
Okay.
Usually I'm sharpening with my knife. Yep, always make your lines long because it's
Just like that. Okay. So, now once I make that line, do I need to make another... I don't need to make another line then. Right? Don't I just need to figure out where the center is?
Right. On here you don't.
On the stone?
Right.
Right?
No, you just figure out where your center is. This, again, you can just eye it once you know where your center is.
Oh, just way smaller.
Right. So get your center finding rule. Find your center on the July 28th.
Oh, right. Okay. So let's start with 4.5. Wait, 5. So 5 1/4.
Now you know that your center line is just inside the inside of the
8. Right here.
Yeah.
So basically, then I can just go like this.
Yeah. Now, because you have all that extra, it's going, especially when you're learning, you might better take that
And cut it.
and cut a 1/2 inch off the bottom of it.
Just so that I can get in there.
Otherwise, it's just a royal pain. Lay it up on the stone and do your cutting there. And take, use your straight edge. So that you're cutting now, not for measuring purposes, it's just to make your job easier.
Just to get that out and away from those other letters and make stuff lined up correctly.
It's just, my rule of thumb is, if I'm fighting in the cemetery to try and do something, then I need to be thinking about how I'm doing it. What am I fighting? Because fighting, it gets me frustrated. It gets me. Do you want cardboard to lay it out on?
No. Pants are made to get dirty. So there we go. So now I know it's just inside of the 8. Clean this off first, right? Don't have to be super perfect, right?
You're going to put rubber down here too. So
anything that rubber's going to touch, so that it sticks good.
Just make sure everything's good.
Okay, so just inside, and then I'm going to touch the bottom of 3, touch the bottom of the July, and I'm good to go right there. So do you just peel up one side and put it down first?
Peel a little bit on one side so that I can, if I do just the corner, like we do, right?
On regular.
Then I can make adjustments. And when I stick it, like in this situation, I don't stick it hard if I'm working on the glued surface. Here it don't matter. so you're just a little bit up onto that.
Right, I see that.
Which is
Doesn't
not a-
matter as
no.
long as I do the same thing over
Just
here.
do the same thing
Because
over
it's
there.
not even a 30-second, really.
Right.
So as long as you do the same thing. So would I just continue peeling it here and go over?
I
Or would I do it on the other side?
I'd get a sticky over there, then I would come over from the other side. And I don't know, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other.
So do the same thing, kind of like this. And go right there and then come back to the other side. You're saying?
If you're happy with where that is, then I would just take a look along it.
Yeah, it's just barely touching each of the...
Yeah, so there, I would just peel this out.
Oh,
and follow-
this right here.
I'd follow it with my hand.
Just kind of watching that line as I go,
Yep.
make sure it
Yep.
stays consistent. And obviously once I get to this side, as long as it's...
Now you can peel it up if you're, or whatever. Because it
doesn't
really
really
doesn't
matter, right, once this is
It doesn't
down.
matter.
As long as everything else is flat and looks good and feels good, not a big deal.
So now, the next important thing is you're gonna get a line of glue lightly put here, let it dry, and then you're gonna cover from here down and around. And I've got this piece here that you can use.
And I really don't want to get too much on the stone if I can help it, right? I mean, it's...
Don't get any on the stone if you can. I mean, any extra on the stone unless you're trying to. Hello. We're doing. Yeah, we're in Lava Rural working on the first one.
That's nice. Good deal. I'm heading to fair.
Woo!
My favorite place in the world.
Yep. Selling.
I have to open all the files until I get the right one. So, anyways,
All right.
you're good. We'll
All right,
talk
hang on,
to you
Ken.
later.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
It's so close to the bottom, it's just like...
Yeah, it is a pain. I meant to tell you, just peel part of the plastic off.
Yeah, that would've definitely would have helped a little bit. But... Alright, there we go.
Yeah, you'll have to cut out a little bit of rubber under.
Just for the comma.
Right, which is that's not a problem. The way that I do it is opposite of what you're doing.
Yeah, you put it down
I
and then...
put it down on, I kind of have it measured about where I want it to go.
Okay.
And so then I come from the bottom, and even though I have it peeled, it's not pressed against the...
I think if I would have done it the opposite and I would have had that plastic, it would have been okay. I should have left the plastic on. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway,
So here now your rubber is cut short.
in the front.
Yep, so what you're going to do is you're just going to lay duct tape over top of that. Because all that's doing is stopping the overblast.
Right.
All you got to do is cut like a half moon around that, Corwin. You don't need to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like,
It's just minuscule, you're saying?
yeah,
All right.
it's not even big enough to where that needs it.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah, it's over here. Holy cow. It feels like we've been here an eternity. Because I'm used to being in and out of a
Right, well,
cemetery doing lettering with you in like
right.
7 minutes.
Yeah, well, not 7, but 20.
Well,
20
geez.
is real good.
It feels like,
Well,
I know I'll get faster, it's just like, oh.
the prep part just about drives you bananas.
Yeah.
It takes so much time. Yep, that's all.
And then same thing. Do I get extra rubber, obviously, here? Just duct tape the top of it. Don't we need? Not really. That. Don't we need for above the May? Don't we need more than just duct tape?
We can go two layers of duct. I'll sandblast this one just because
Okay.
it's a little bit touchy.
Two layers of duct tape is
2 layers of duct tape is almost as good as rubber.
not quite, but almost.
Yeah, like there if you're on top of rubber, so that you're just, all that is if ever I made a mistake and got over to here.
That's basically just for mistake.
You can, it just lends itself so much to both.
Yeah, the main thing is
I'm going to show you something else here, okay? So, yeah. Christian likes a picture of the whole stone and the date up close, and also the name of the cemetery.
okay.
Guys, thank you so much for coming. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it educational. I hope you found it entertaining. That's always my goal here. So I really hope that that is what we did. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. If you got questions, please leave a comment. We love comments, and you can always leave a like or a dislike. Either way, interaction is good on the internet. That's what we like. So please feel free to do so. Thank you. We will see you all next time.